cross-platform DI.
I would now request Dr. Bhatkar to felicitate the key contributors.
To see this data center, and I was very pleased because a very state-of-the-art data center is coming up, developed by a company called ESDS under the leadership of Piyush. And I liked it because the question came that why the IT industry is only developing in certain centers, like Bangalore, like Chennai, like Hyderabad, like Pune and some part of New Bombay, in Gurgaon, Noida, Kolkata, only 5-6 centers. And it is very important that IT industry also gets uniformly developed across India. In particular in Maharashtra, we wanted not only Pune and Mumbai, but also it must move to places like Nashik, Nagpur, Kolhapur, Aurangabad. And though software technology parks were created, IT parks were created, we did not see the growth as we had anticipated, as we wanted to have. It is in that context, coming up of ESDS was very important for me, the groundbreaking. And one thinks of not only create centers within the country, but we must go, like international companies came to India, we must go now to the world. And that's what IT industry has done. IT industry started buying companies, like TCS started buying companies across the world. Infosys started doing that. There are other companies who have done that for the first time in the history of post-independence India. I am very happy that ESDS has operations hosting also in the UK, and maybe I also read in the United States, and perhaps other parts of the world in the times to come. This is an important development. And you have to keep pace in this industry. As the technology is transforming, the new things which are happening, we must be ahead of the world. At least keep pace and be ahead of them. And when the concept of cloud computing really came, which is a totally new thinking with it. The cloud started happening only a few years back, really, in a significant way. I don't know what is cloud. I don't want to explain to the lay people who are not working in the IT, because most people would understand. Don't want to go on to explain what is cloud and all that. But ESDS came with this idea of cloud computing, and it was a good thing, and came out with a solution called Enlight. And I read about that. That was an important development. What is important today is, I feel, is a new product which is being used, which is required when you develop a data center like this. And you have to, of course, how to manage that data center. The most critical issue is managing the data centers 24/7, extremely complex operations, where several companies are hosting, and you are providing services, you are hosting their softwares, hosting their services in your data centers, and you have to manage the data centers extremely effectively with the disaster recovery sites. Every aspect of that data center has to be managed. Data center management, the server management, the virtualization management, management of all components of the data center, including power supplies, racks, everything in a virtual way. And the servers can reside in multiple data centers at different places, which are then virtualized together. It's a very complex operation, and every operation is critical. If the service is lost, then the clients, of course, can ask for damages, they can ask for service level agreements. If they are not met, there is a very serious, this is a very demanding things. It is in this context you will develop the softwares. Of course, there are network opera, data center management softwares available, maybe available from CA, maybe available from Cisco's of the world. The entire infrastructure management for that. But a company in Nashik, a small group, R&D group, and I had last time emphasized to Piyush that are you doing something on the R&D side? And we have a group. Last time I met some of them. And we have, I think I understand it is a group of 32 people now working here, which is very difficult for a small company. Not big companies are doing. Not very big companies of the world. I will not take the names. I'm not doing much R&D in India. They have 10 billion of turnover, more than that, several billions of turnovers. And the question being asked to us is that why are we not coming out with only services? Why no new products, no new really significant innovations? It is in this context I want to congratulate the R&D team and entire ESDS and Piyush to announce these two products. I know how difficult, how comprehensive when you develop a data center management product, a suite like that, a series of products which work together like a symphony, and you are able to manage it remotely from your desktop, anywhere tomorrow, from your iPad, from your smartphones, because 24/7, you don't know where you are. The critical resource is traveling from where is existing where, and has to be summoned. He has to manage it. So that eMagic, really the product what I have seen, the features, I really congratulate, and this is what we are looking, which is what the IT industry should do now. Similarly, the issue of disaster recovery, DR, and not DR of the doing. We have done the DR, you know how difficult it is, and you are doing it in the cross-platform level. Different operating systems from different vendors, different versions, different databases, all like things, middlewares. So make a DR site with cross-platform, and it's a working platform like that is a great contribution. Congratulations, I would like to acclaim that team who have come out with this product as well, sir. I know how difficult it would have been to write those scripts and all that. I don't want to get into that. I think you are. Yesterday evening when Piyush met me, he gave me a document. I was seeing the word Param again in different pages, one after another. I said, how Param is appearing there? And he has a proposal in mind. A few weeks back, we had announced a new version of Param called Param UR2. It was Param 8000 in 91, 10,098, Param Padma, UR1 and UR2. Because CIRAC had completed 20 years and now they are celebrating the Silver Jubilee 25 years. UR2 was announced. And I must tell you that it was the half 500 teraflop machine, half petaflop. I was not at all happy in that sense that we wanted to announce because the budgets were not enough. We have been struggling with that. CIRAC has been struggling. We wanted to announce a petaflop machine. What is a petaflop machine? You understand the word million? Of course you understand billion, 10 lakh mathematical operations per second. You understand billion, that is 1,000 million, ek abja. Then you understand trillion, which is 1,000 billion. And 1,000 trillion is one peta. This word did not exist in certain sense in dictionary. So this computer should perform in 1 second 1,000 trillion mathematical operations per second, with of course required memory, required storage, and all that. And today's supercomputers are measured in petaflops. But there was a challenge which United States threw some time back, and they said now we have developed petascale machines. Computing power has been increased by a factor of 1,000 every 10 years, which means that at the same price, say $100, you can buy a computer in 1 year, which is twice the computing power and twice the memory, but the price remaining the same. No technology in the world has ever grown like this. And that's why it increased by a factor of 1,000 in 10 years' time. Friends, now the new challenge is to develop exaflop machines, exaflop supercomputers, that is 1,000 peta mathematical operations per second, which is a mind-boggling, and nobody knows how to do it at the moment. We know how to scale it further. Today, when Param Yuva 2 is 30,000 cores, and you already have maybe 3,000 cores here, 10,000 cores, 10,000 processors sitting at different places, different racks, connected together on the PCB at different levels. 30,000 cores, but we are talking not 10,000. We are talking about 10 million, maybe billion processors connected together, working on a given problem. How to manage, how to program these machines, how to write software for these machines. But of course, the storage challenges, the network challenges, time critical operation, the resiliency, if some cores fail, what to do? We have to create an entirely new brand of people. Multi-core, of course, we are working on. I think this is what ESGS is now experiences. And a proposal from Piyush is that how such scientific machines can also work with machines or the ensemble which is available in the ESGS. Can we work together? I think that is the thing for mission critical problems, satellite image processing, launching new vehicles, the Chandrayaan beyond, going to Mars, locating oil sources, designing new cars, reverse engineering the brain, understanding weather forecasting and disasters, all those challenges. And there are many other challenges of social networking and many other things. I think the time has come. I have been pleading for that. I think let us abandon this concept of government organizations and private organizations as separate. Public, private, government, research labs, industries. We have to work together like Japan works, like Korea works, like United States works. We have not learned how to work together on these issues. How to create the governance of these kind of institutions if you have to make world-class products and compete with the world. I think your proposal is, I will take forward to this and discuss with other people how this could be accomplished, but we have not put forward a governance mechanism how to do this. And that is a big challenge. If that issue can be solved, we can do many things. Finally, I would say that it is the age of innovations. There are companies, examples before us, that one innovation can create wealth which is equivalent to the entire nation's income. I think many people have shown that. Steve Jobs has shown that through Apple. Create an innovation as to string of products and create a company which is larger than 70 nations of the GDP put together. One idea can create that. That is the power of innovation. We have seen with Microsoft. We have seen this with Google, just a search engine development. Now we have to go on that path, create new products, new ideas. And that requires new science, new mathematics. This requires investment of R&D, sustained investment of R&D for a long time. And it's a very risky business also. Nothing may succeed sometimes, even if you have invention. So we have to create a culture, we have to create an ecosystem in the companies, in our academic institutions, in our universities. It is in this context, why I said all this, it is in this context I wanted to acclaim, admire, and encourage, and celebrate these two innovations, and before that, the Enlight Cloud solution, what you have created, you have shown the way, and it is coming from a place like Nashik. That is most admirable. From our students who are coming from small engineering colleges. They are not people like IITs. They are not people from United States. I have met many of them. They just come from that. They can't speak English. Maybe not be able to speak English properly. That is not important. So important as we think. So congratulations to everybody. Congratulations to Piyush. Congratulations to yes. But we have a long way to go. We have to sustain effort required to create and compete with the world. And that's what India. This is the century of India. I feel that this innovation will show the way. Once again, congratulations to everybody and thank you for inviting me.